This is Smallzy Surgery.
Let's get on the show. Tonight's guest, live here from New York City. He certainly does not need a tan because it's 40 degrees outside right now. He's also got a brand new track out with Ray. It is called Suzanne, and it is a jazzy bop. Have a listen to this, some brand new Mark Ronson, and let's get him on the show.
Mark Ronson. I sing it, or I don't really sing it, I kind of make it. Someone else sings it, and then Smallzy plays it on Nova.
Well, Mark Ronson, the people you run into when you're in New York City, how are you?
I'm good.
It's been a long time.
It is. It's nice to have you here. I remember you last time you came to my studio in LA.
Indeed, yes.
LA.
Yeah. We vibed on the couch there, vibing in the studio here in New York.
Yeah.
I believe I've seen many paparazzi photos of this building with celebrities entering and musicians entering and exiting, and a lot of bangers been made in here.
Yeah, this is specifically, I've worked here with Dua a bunch.
Yeah.
So Dua always has some paparazzi outside,
Yeah.
and this is where we did all the Barbie stuff.
Yeah.
Ice Spice was in here, Dua, and Ken was not here.
Okay.
Ken we did in London.
Okay.
But and this is actually where I met Amy Winehouse back in 2006 when we first worked on Back to Black. So this place has a lot of history and good vibes.
Yeah, I would have thought maybe you would have crossed paths in London town, but no, here in New York.
It was here. She was in New York for one day, and somebody was like, "Do you want to meet this girl, Amy Winehouse?" And I didn't have anything else to do that day.
You're like, why not?
Yeah.
And the rest is history. Tell me about like this, because obviously I met you. We've done an interview in London and in LA studios, and now, do each of them, are they slightly different creatively wise? I know that might be a weird question to people who don't understand, but do each of the studios vibe slightly differently?
They do. They all have a different vibe. All those cities have such different vibes.
Yeah.
So New York is such an intense energy. It's so fast paced, and you're just like off the street and then it's here. So LA is more chilled. You're in your car going to the studio. London is a little more relaxed too. So this has that thing, and this studio just has some good energy. It's hard to say why. There's also this was never a very fancy studio, but Nora Jones made her first album here, the one that sold like 20 bazillion copies.
Yeah, that one.
This was before I was in here, but there's obviously good energy, good juju in places. You know?
Well, it's great to see you. As I said, it's been a while since we've seen each other.
Yeah.
You've got the brand new track out right now, teaming up with Ray.
Yes.
Give us talk me through that, because this is like, as I've matured, as you have also matured,
right.
I have become very interested in expensive watches.
Okay.
Yes. And my appetite for expensive watches has grown.
Is it getting you in trouble?
It is beginning to get me into trouble. My question is, has it gotten you into trouble? But then also it's linked into the new track with Ray.
Yes. So Audemars Piguet is this incredible Swiss watch company that I would say like watch heads always knew, but I think it was like 15 years ago it was still a little bit like if you know, you know. And I remember being in some really cool bar in Paris, and some guy who looked like he was in Daft Punk but probably wasn't had this watch on, and I never do this, but I went across the room. I was like, what is that watch? You know, it's such a beautiful shape, and started wearing it 5 years ago. They found out I was a fan, and obviously at this point, you know, Jay-Z has had his own watch. So, you know, it's become this
there's
big
a couple
brand.
of there's a couple of collections that they have had, and I think I found one that was like the most expensive I could see is like a Royal Oak of like 1.6 million.
Holy
US
crap.
dollars.
Yeah,
that's a very
crazy.
expensive watch.
That's a very expensive watch.
They all tell the time too.
Yeah.
Ironically, they all tell the same time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you fell in love with it, and then
I guess they found out I loved it, which is a cool way to like have somebody come to you like when you're already a big fan of what they do.
Yeah.
And I've been working with them because they're really musical. They sponsor the Montreux Jazz Festival and all this stuff.
Yes.
They have a lineage. Quincy Jones, Jay-Z. They've always been involved with these people. So they put me together with Ray for this project, and you know, I'd like to imagine I would have ended up working with Ray at some point anyway, because I'm a big fan of hers, and she's just like an incredible English artist. But we ended up doing this song, and it just worked. It was this song Suzanne, and it just happened to be this thing that we loved, and then they really liked it, and we decided to put it out.
Yeah, magic. Do you have any other watch brands that you'd like to collaborate with or be inspired by? I'm inspired by Rolex.
Right.
I like a Rolex. Or how do you say it? Patek Philippe?
I think that's right.
Yeah, that's a very nice one too.
Yeah.
Any watches that would like to collaborate with me, feel free to.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Send them your way.
Yes. Anyway, so do you like all watches, or now in particular AP? You're like like a sweet spot for that.
I do. I really do love the AP, and and the musical ambassador. So that's what I wear.
Yeah, cut out I hate every other watch. I hate every other watch.
But no, it's cool. And listen, like I said, like it's so cool when there's something that you already love.
Totally
comes to you. So
I completely agree.
And then Ray and I got in the studio, and I'm always so nervous when I'm in the studio with someone for the first time. Like, what if I don't bring the heat? There's always this pressure. They're sitting where you are, and I'm like chopping up a hi-hat, and they're like, so I decided to bring in some music that I made already, and I played her this track.
Yeah.
And she loved it, and she just started writing right away, and she said, I have a feeling this song's just called Suzanne. And I just thought that was kind of a wild thing to say, but it sounded good, and that's how the song started.
Wow. When you talk about pressure, who feels more of the pressure in? Well, I mean, I don't know if you would know the answer to this, but is it an artist coming in and working with Mark Ronson, or is it Mark Ronson walking in and working with an artist that maybe you've like watched from the sidelines and been super excited to want to work with? Like, where do the nerves hit there, from both parties, or?
I mean, I guess you'd have to ask Ray. I've read some stuff she said in interviews saying that, she's always wanted to work with me, which is really sweet. But no, I always have the first day I work with a new artist, it's this mix of like blind date, first day of school, like every insecurity. Oh, this is going to be the day I absolutely run out of ideas. Like my brain just goes blank. And so it's always nice to have a few ideas on the, coming into it.
And you're always working on stuff, right?
Always, yeah.
Yeah? You're always in the... I can imagine we're sitting here right now and you've got stuff in the pipeline that you haven't even announced or launched yet. And
I just wrote a song while you were sitting here.
Yeah,
I wish I had that.
And I'll look back in 12 months and I'll be like, oh my God, he was sitting on that banger there. Do you feel the pressure to... Like, you've had so many successes, so many awards, Grammys and Academy Awards, and do you go into the next project wanting to top that? Do you just go into the next project wanting to make whatever comes to you, and if the awards come, the awards come?
I think there's always that pressure. It's a really great question. And you always have that pressure after coming off, success or Uptown Funk or Barbie or whatever it is. But the only thing that I can ever control is if something's good and I love it. I can't control if it's a hit or any of those other things. So I just try and make the thing. But yeah, all the time I'm always trying to balance both those things, something that I really love making and I want people to dig it. I want DJs to play it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've been busy working in the studio. You're doing some TikTok behind the scenes stuff. People are concerned about the holes in your shirt. And just so everyone knows,
did someone say that?
The comment section on your TikToks, they are full of man so rich, why holes in the shirt? I can confirm now.
Yeah.
He also has holes in this shirt. Is this the same shirt, or is this one of many shirts with holes in it?
This is a different shirt. Two things. It's a heat wave in New York, so the ventilation is good.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I do love a really old worn T-shirt, and the thing is, just every time you wash it, just some of the holes get bigger.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to stem the bleeding, but right now there's a lot of holy shirt.
This is a legit hole.
I mean, this one's crazy. I mean, this isn't even.
There'll be that armpit's going to end on the internet.
But I mean, it's like this isn't even half a shirt anymore. I don't even know what this is.
You know what? It's called casual studio attire, and it's your studio. You can wear whatever you'd like to wear. So, sorry, talking about posting behind the scenes TikToks, Benny Blanco has been doing the same thing, and I think producers are finding stepping forward I guess in the last few years, producers have stepped forward and sort of owned the craft that they bring to it. I spoke to Benny Blanco the other day, and I asked him if he'd ever dropped an Easter egg in a song, and he said that he had slapped his ass in a track.
Really?
Yeah, just buried that in there.
Okay.
Mark Ronson, question to you. What Easter eggs have you buried into some of your tracks over the years?
Well, actually, that's funny. I was like, would I let Benny Blanco slap my ass in a track? And I would. I've known Benny for a long time.
Yeah.
I trust him.
Yep.
He obviously has a platinum slap.
Yeah,
that slaps.
platinum slaps.
So I have done. Like the only thing that really just comes to mind right off the top is just like when we were doing Shallow.
Yeah.
Shallow was a really beautiful song, but it was very classic.
Mm.
And then at the end, I remember saying to Lady Gaga, I was like, it would be so cool if you did one of your very specific Gaga, like rah rah ooh rah rah, like at the end. Is there something we can do?
Yeah.
And then we were like, came up with it in the shaha shala low, in the shala shala la la low, and we realized there's about 15 bad words within that when you start to like really pull it apart. So maybe does that count?
That counts. But now the challenge is set for you to slap a body part in the next hit.
Yeah,
and just bury that in there.
I need to get Benny Blanco to slap an Easter egg into one of my songs. Yeah.
I did start off by saying it's been a couple of years since I saw you last. Your life has changed. You're a dad now.
Yeah.
Daddy. How is that treating you?
It's actually true because we just made the jump from dada to daddy as well.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Yeah, so it's that, all the cliches, that is the best part of everything. And it's amazing just like seeing her, like what music that she likes. I haven't played her any of my songs yet because I feel like if she really didn't like one, I don't think I could come back from that.
And young kids, they're like they
brutal.
Yeah, brutal.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There'll be a visceral reaction if you take off like the Wiggles and put on one of yours. Like no, absolutely
no
not.
data. But that is amazing. You have 2 little girls, and it's the best.
That's so great. Congratulations. Has it changed your life?
It has.
Still late nights, or now do you work 9 to 5 now?
It's late nights because there still is old habits die hard. 30 years of staying in the studio till 2 a.m. But now I'll, if anything, go home for bath time.
Yeah.
Come back to the studio.
Oh, nice.
Bath time is important.
Nice.
And then she comes to the studio and plays all this crap, and it's very fun.
That's fantastic. You can tell me to mind my own business. Your mother-in-law is very famous. What is the conversation like at Christmas lunch? I could just imagine, like, for most people, having one famous person in a family is enough, right?
Right.
Like, but your Christmas lunches now would be on a level where it's like, do you go, oh, I'm going to be quiet this time, or do I talk up, mate? What do I do between you and your wife? And
between like 17 screaming grandchildren, there's like none of the grown-ups are talking. But she's incredible.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks so much.
I very much appreciate it. It's great to see you. Congratulations on the new music.
Thank you.
Congratulations on whatever you're working on next.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for allowing me into this inner sanctum.
It's so nice that you've been to all my studios, London, New York, now here.
I've collected them like Pokemons, and I have caught them all.
Cool.
Unless there's a secret one that you don't talk about.
We'll get to that.
Okay. Mark Ronson, thank you very much.
You're listening to the Smallzy Surgery Podcast.
Hear more from Smallzy live weeknights from 8.
Only on Nova.